I regret leaving my husband. How do I move forward? 3 years ago, I left my husband of 13 years, together 18 years total. It was the hardest decision to make, but I ultimately felt like I had no choice. We had a wonderful relationship for many years. He was my best friend and was the only person who I could fully relax and be myself with. We traveled a lot, built a lovely home and life together with our dogs. We liked the same things, had the same sense of humor, and were very compatible in day-to-day life. He was chill and calm, and really tried to make our life pleasant and happy. However, we were not compatible with the big things in life, mainly finances, house stuff, and communication. This became obvious after we bought our house. Previously, we lived in my condo and split all the bills 50-50, and our expenses were minimal. However, once we sold it, I had to pay off some debt from the sale, so he began paying the new mortgage and property taxes, and I paid all the bills, bought everything for our home, including most of the groceries, paid for the initial renovations, and all of our dog's expenses. We both made good money, but he made almost twice as much as me. This became the default, and I know he resented me for it, but he would not bring it up with me and completely refused to discuss finances or make a budget. No matter what I said or did, he absolutely refused any communication with me about finances. This became a bigger issue when major home repairs were needed. Our furnace broke and we needed a new roof, among other things. And when I asked how we would pay for them, he would just say, "I don't know. I have no more money." I didn't have the means to do it myself, and I hated feeling in the dark and unable to fix the things that kept falling apart. Our yard needed a lot of upkeep, and whenever I would bring something up or try to make a plan, he would tell me that I have a bad attitude, or I'm never satisfied, or I hate our life. I know he tried his best, and to him it seemed like a personal attack, even though I was just trying to maintain our home. I'm a person who likes to keep on top of things, and I hated the feeling of overwhelm and helplessness and things getting out of control with no way to fix them. I felt like it was a sinking ship. Every time I would try to bring something up, he would storm off, and I would follow him to try to resolve the issue, and it would become a very toxic, circular argument with no resolution, ever. So this is why I left. I could see the writing on the wall, and I couldn't see any way that it could work. To me, our life was completely unsustainable. It was an agonizing decision, and I tried so hard to get through to him and change things so I did not have to leave. I know I hurt him very badly. According to him, I decided I hated him and our life and just packed up and left one day. For the last few years of the marriage, I admit I was angry and resentful, and I treated him unkindly. I said awful things to him during our fights because I just wanted to be heard. He would not listen and talked over me constantly. I developed insomnia and health issues and started sleeping in the basement, and he feels I abandoned him as a wife. I was spending a lot of time and energy on my health, so I totally understand his perspective. But he was never open to changing our lifestyle or downsizing to make things easier on me or on us as a couple. For the first 2 years after leaving, my health issues were really bad, so that was my number one priority. I was not doing well, so the divorce proceedings didn't happen until recently, when I retained a lawyer. He has done absolutely nothing concerning the divorce. He ignores letters from my lawyer. Because of how avoidant he is, I knew that it would all fall on me. I tried to do things amicably, but he refused to talk about it. He stayed in our home, and I initially lived with my parents. Now I'm renting a small basement suite. I have not received 1 cent from him, so his lifestyle did not change, and I've basically started over with nothing. I continued to pay the bills there for a year after I left to ensure he would be okay so he could make moves to buy me out of the house, which he never did. I think he feels entitled to it all because I'm the one who chose to leave. Regardless, recently having the time and space to reflect, I see his perspective. I see all of the ways that I failed him and our life, and the ways I could have tried harder and done more. I feel so much guilt for what happened with my health and how it got in the way. I see how I did not appreciate him and the little things as much as I should have. I miss my old life so badly that my heart hurts. I miss his company. I miss the comfort of my home and our routines and special holidays. I feel like I have no purpose now. I don't want to start over. I don't want to get a divorce. I just want us to be able to work it out. I feel like as unsustainable that life was, it's better than what my life is now. I have asked him if he wants to be divorced, and he just says, I don't know. He bailed at the last minute when I tried to go to counseling. He will avoid my calls and texts when I try to talk about the divorce. So nothing ever happens. I'm stuck in this awful limbo of not being able to live the life I co-created, but not able to move forward. What can I do? I want to be able to get through to him and fix it all. But if I can't, how can I move forward with all of this loss? How can I trust I made the right decision even though it's not what I wanted at all? I left my husband because of big issues that could not be resolved, but I regret it and don't know how to move forward.
Afterward. Love isn't only warmth, habits, shared routines, and the feeling of home. Love is also the ability to meet each other in difficult conversations, to share responsibility, and to be partners, not just roommates in life. This story reminds us that relationships rarely fall apart due to a lack of love, but far more often due to a lack of dialogue. A decision to leave, made in a state of emotional exhaustion, doesn't make someone a bad person, and regret after leaving doesn't make them weak. These are simply two different stages of grieving what was lost. If you're in a similar place right now, caught between I miss them and I don't see a future, remember, you don't have to return to a relationship where you were not heard. And you don't have to blame yourself the ways you struggled too. We all make choices based on how much pain we can handle at that moment. And the only path forward is not to stay stuck in the past.